Alright, my bad. I had to erase a video because I messed up on a part, and the computer messed up. But I'm gonna start back at 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in this time, because now this is the time that he's going to be revealed by the prophets and the saints, the men of the Lord, who are out there putting His word out and doing their works, and acknowledging His name, Yahushua Mashiach. That's how He's going to let it be revealed. He's going to reveal the so-called white man through us. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, and y'all got to understand that word mystery. It's like, because y'all people like to say that you have known the truth for years or generations. Well, it just said mystery. So how could you know a mystery when the Lord doesn't even talk to you plain like that? He speaks to us in parables, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But if you read throughout the Bible, it tells you that this mystery of the gospel has been hid since the beginning of the foundation of the world. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, the wicked. And if you read in the Bible, it says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked in Job 9:24. And if you want to expound on it to get a more idea of who that wicked is, which is what I'm going to expose today, that the so-called white man is the devil. He's the wicked. He's the border of wickedness in Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So when he exposes Esau, ultimately, that America is going to be destroyed with the brightness of thermonuclear warfare. America is going to be destroyed for the great iniquity that it commits, along with the so-called white man. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, and Satan just means adversary. That's another thing. Y'all people think Satan's like the father of the devil, well, yeah. I mean, that's what the white man is. He is the devil, but Satan just means adversary. There is a spiritual Satan that is like the top demon that goes out into all the other people and sets them to do what they need to do to get into that temptation or get in a snare, which is who's working. Satan's the one who's working on us, men of the Lord, when we fall into temptation, because he's seeing we're not going along with this course of this world. So he's trying to afflict us more. That's why when you come to this, it's not going to be easy. You're going to go through a lot of sufferings. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So right there, that's talking about the 2/3 right there, and the people who don't want to the people who don't want to listen, they don't want to be saved. They'd rather be along with Satan and the so-called white man in his country. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's what it is. Y'all people who are blinded by the truth, and y'all want to go along with this world, or y'all want to believe on Jesus Christ, or whatever name y'all have, or Yeshua, Jehovah, whatever those bullshit names are. That's just you getting a strong delusion, thinking that he's coming, thinking that Yahweh is coming back to hold your hand because you were doing such a good job after you killed somebody. That's just nonsense. So that's your delusion. That's your little lie that you're being fed, but because you didn't want to hearken unto the Lord. Now, earlier in verse 7, I told you about the mystery, because that mystery is referring to this word, because it's been hid for generations. Back then, in the time of Daniel, there was a book. They were speaking about the book, how it was sealed. No man on earth could have revealed it. It was locked at that time. So how could you know the mystery of this book? And that's what it was referring to this book. So how could you know it if it's been locked and sealed until now? Exactly, you don't. So I'm going to go down to Matthew, and I'm going to tell you that through the men of the Lord, that's how this truth is coming out now. Because the Lord, He doesn't deal with everybody. He doesn't. He don't even, not everybody, not even just everybody. Like he only deals with a certain amount of people. He's dealing with those who are trying to come to a pure heart, get away from this captivity, trying to be delivered, who want to call on the true name of Yahweh Shem Mashiach and listen to His commandments and follow Him. That's who He's looking for. And only by the men of the Lord, though, is He going to reveal this truth. And I'm going to get into that real quick. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 34. And all these things spake Yahushua unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake He not unto them. And a parable is just a puzzle. A parable is a riddle. And that's what He just said. Yahushua, who y'all ignorantly call Jesus Christ, only spake to the multitude, which are the other people who were trying to come into the truth. He was only revealing these things in parables. Now, when He spoke to His disciples, He did reveal these things openly. But it's because it was for them. That's why I'm going to expound on it. It says, but these multitudes, He only spake to them in parables, because that's all the Lord does speak to. I'm going to read verse 35. That it might be fulfilled which is spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. And that secret is this word. Throughout the whole Bible, it tells you that this is a mystery. This book is a mystery because this is not for everybody. And besides, not even that, this isn't even for the other nations or the so-called white man. This is only for one nation, which is Israel. It tells you that in Psalms, in Amos, in Isaiah. It tells you clearly that He has not dealt with any other nation but the house of Israel. This book, these statutes, this law is for Israel. The other nations, you so-called white people, you Asians, you Arabians, you Muslims, you Chinese, Japanese, whatever you want to be, if you ain't coming out of the nations or the tribes of Israel, this book is not for you. You have no doing reading this book. You cannot be saved. There's certain words in those Bibles that you get twisted up, but for your own gain. Whenever it talks about certain words, it's not referring to you. That's why you got to read and understand. For you people of Israel, the ones who are trying to gain this truth, you got to understand that there are words in there that will be twisted up by the other people of the nations of this world. Because that's what the so-called white man's done. He's done nothing but put lying wonders in front of your face. But that's how you know when you finally receive this knowledge. You'll know, all right, that didn't ever add up. Not everybody can be saved. Only the nations of Israel. And that's where that Gentiles comes in. But you got to understand that Gentile is not referring to those other nations. It's referring to the house of Israel still. Because the Gentile nations, which are the other nations, the heathen, those are the natural Gentiles. You got to understand there's two types of Gentiles. But I'm not going to get into that. That's a deeper understanding and lesson. So, if you get back on point. But when Yahushua was speaking to these people, He spoke to them only in riddles. So, I'm going to read Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto Him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So it's given to us men of the Lord to know this truth, not to the other nations. Not to know Arab. It's not to them people. It's given to the men of the Lord, His prophets and saints, which are the men of the Lord. But it's only given to His saints, the ones who come in a pure spirit and a pure mind and repent daily and are doing this work. He's not trying to deal with a man who is unstable in all his ways. This is let me get another scripture to prove. Because to prove that the Lord only speaks to the people in parables. And a parable is a riddle. It's something you got to figure out, but only by the Spirit of Yahushua, by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, can you get the truth. Because He don't openly just say America's going to be destroyed in the Bible. It's a parable you got to understand. This is Psalm 78 and 2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. So The Lord just said, I will open my mouth in a parable and utter dark sayings of old. That's the only way he speaks to us people. To us people. That's all he ever speaks.